Great Scott.
Great Scott.
Great Scott.
Dean Cain said some things this week. If Superman was in Donald Trump's America, Superman would have been kicked out of here. Now Dean Cain says that Superman can no longer say truth, justice, and the American way. Hello again, everyone, and welcome once again to another episode of Great Scott. This week we continue my discussion of the Dean Cain debacle. Dun dun dun! But these days, Dean Cain's right! Woo! Can you imagine that I would say something like this? He couldn't say the American way today because we've got an administration, we've got a country, and we've got a situation going on here in America that somebody would not want to emulate. You wouldn't want to go around the world and say the American way because you'd be laughed at. We're an international laughing stock over here in America. And I hate to break it to you, Dean Cain, but Superman wouldn't stand for it. He would definitely distance himself from the American way these days. The American way was an idea that eventually evolved into the thoughts and feelings and idealism that supposedly this country was built on. Not the American way because Americans are the best and we have to have this forced patriotism. That's a thing that happens in communist countries. And it's sort of a thing that the administration in this country has been pushing for. Because they want to be like fascists. And by the way, Dean Cain, Superman is as anti-fascist as you get. So I don't really think you understand the character. To be honest, you sounded fairly intelligent and well-spoken on your extremely rehearsed and planned out interview on Fox News, which speaks volumes in and of itself. And I've seen you on many different programs, and I've seen you attacking many liberal ideas, many ideas that Superman certainly stands for. So you're clearly on a completely different spectrum as to where Superman would be, and that's fine. But when you support the administration that is the way it is now, and when you support Donald Trump, I almost think you have to take a step back and see what you're supporting. Because not only are you supporting a move toward dictatorship and fascism, which is really clearly what Donald Trump wants, you're also supporting a man who clearly doesn't support caring and loving and nurturing relationships. So it hurt me to see that you were supporting him. And no, Superman of today wouldn't say the American way. And it started long before today. He said it once in Superman the movie, and they didn't bash you with it because they want to include everyone. When you name the American way, you're excluding lots of other things. You're excluding lots of other people. Superman wouldn't want to exclude anyone. Donald Trump wants to exclude people. And you, by association, seemingly want to exclude people because that's what his administration is all about. Superman is all-inclusive. Superman loves everyone. He supports every way. And yes, the ideals of what we thought America would be built upon could be something that a Superman might stand for, but not as we stand today. I'm embarrassed to be an American, the way things are going now. And I think Superman would be embarrassed of the American situation as well. But he's not American. And it never made sense, really, that he would say the American way, because conservative fans will argue right off the bat that Superman doesn't choose a political party. Saying the American way is choosing a party. Choosing whatever party is in power in America, which is why in that famous issue of Action Comics that was all over the news years and years ago, he said that he was denouncing his American citizenship, which he was only granted by the government because they decided that they liked him and liked what he was doing back in the day anyway. He denounced because he didn't want his actions to be associated with the American government or to be blamed on America if he did something that one country didn't like or another country didn't like that could possibly start a war that the entire American country would be brought into. But people didn't look at that or understand that. They just attacked the idea that the liberal agenda was again removing things from comics. And partly it might have been, but it's also everything they do in comics oftentimes or in any form of media is to sell, is a business move. It was the best move to make at the time because they want to include everyone. And it also makes sense story-wise because that's what Superman would be about. And this whole mask thing, just wear your mask. Everybody, Just wear your mask when you're out in a group, when you're out shopping, when you're out on a plane, as Dean Cain did. And I praise you for wearing the mask. In fact, you can't really tell whether something is a whine or a joke or just a statement matter of fact on Twitter. Giving Dean Cain the benefit of the doubt, he did wear the mask. And he said, maybe a bad joke, maybe a great joke, maybe you find it funny, maybe you don't. Maybe he was whining, but he wore the mask. So he did what he was supposed to do. He did what a Superman would do, just like Brandon Routh, who later posted in a seeming criticism of Dean Cain with his Superman mask on, saying that he does what a Superman would do and he protects his fellow man. He cares about his fellow man. That's what it's all about. But a celebrity on Twitter saying, I think I breathed my own fumes and got brain damage, doesn't necessarily mean he's out there against wearing masks, because he was wearing the mask. So I don't have as much of a problem with that tweet, though he was scathingly attacked, which you will be if you're a celebrity on Twitter. But I felt like that I had to address it. I feel like Dean Cain is on the wrong side of history, and I feel badly that my favorite portrayal of Superman was an actor who feels the way that he does. And I know he played a superhero on TV. He says it on the Fox News interview, that he's not really a hero. He played one on TV, and I'm not trying to be a fan who thinks that all the people who played Superman have to be what Superman really is. But when I found that out all those years ago, it was shocking to me, because I can't imagine even then how someone could still support the types of plans that he seems to be into, that Donald Trump supports or that Donald Trump puts forth. But anyway, that's the way I feel. Doesn't mean that's the way you feel, but thanks for watching, everybody. And remember, always look up in the sky.